Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be working with the new product from Cricut, which is Infusible Ink. So they sent me a couple pieces to play with. This will be available at Michaels next Friday, June the 21st. So definitely check it out. You'll be able to get your hands on it. And they're going to have the infusible inks, the pens, the totes, the clothes, all that stuff there. So you'll be able to play with this stuff very, very soon. So I thought I would go ahead and get my video out talking about it and my thoughts on it. We'll play with a few pieces in different ways. So let's go ahead and go over what they sent me so far to play with. They sent me two different packages. I'm going to show you the colors here. They sent me, I'm going to turn it like that. They sent me two different packages of their infusible inks. So they do have one that carries 4 sheets in each box, and then they have the 2. They sent me just the 2. So I got these 2 here, which is like a Hawaiian, kind of reminds me of a Hawaiian shirt, and a dark blue. And then this one has warm gray, I believe it says. Yes, warm gray, and there's 2 sheets of that. Both of them are 12 by 12. So we got 2 of those. I've had this box for, I think, a week now, but I wanted to really kind of play around with online designing some stuff and really get the best way of playing with each of these with the not little bit, but to be able to play with what we have available in the moment. Okay, here is the pins. So this is what the package of 5 pins are going to look like. Now they have pins and markers. This is the neon set. So it's yellow, green, orange, pink, and blue. Today I'm going to be using the yellow, green, and basically I'm going to use every color but pink today. So we're going to use all of these. It looks like it shows right up here. I'm going to kind of bring you guys up. You can see at the top of the package, it says 400 degrees, 205 Celsius, and it says heat activated. So it kind of gives you a little bit of that information on there. So there's the package of pins, and we'll open those. We'll open all these here in just a second. Now they also sent me a roll of their heat resistant tape. And I'm really excited about this because you guys know I use this on my channel all the time, and now Cricut has theirs, so I'm really excited to be able to use theirs. So they do have their own heat resistant tape. Here is their coasters. Now they're going to have square coasters and round coasters, but they sent me the package of square, so that's what we're going to play with today. You can always tell what product will be compatible with this because it will have this sticker on here that will say compatible with Infusible Ink. So currently right now they have coasters, totes, shirts, and I believe a baby onesie, which they're calling, I think, a baby bodysuit. That's pretty much all they have right now. Then we got a tote, just like so. So we got a super nice tote. This one is 19 by 14 tote to play with. And they did send a shirt. So they sent a men's t-shirt large, so we'll be able to play with that. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm just loving the fact that they have products to go with this. So that way we could grab them in store. So I'm really, really excited about this product. Design space, I want to show you the designs that I've created to work with right now. So like I said, I took several days to kind of go over, and I wanted to get the best that I could out of utilizing all the products, if that makes sense. So I wanted to kind of really use them all. So this is what I came up with. I used the font for Tropic and Like It's. I used just Cricut Sans. For the H and the T, it's the same as this one right here, and it is Baylac, B-A-Y-L-A-C, and like I said, those are Cricut fonts. This image right here is in your images, and it was just a pineapple, and it's got tons of different writings. It's the warm gray for Tropic, Like It's Hot. And then for the pineapple, I'm going to use the pens to draw those out. For this right here, it's not going on a shirt. This is going to go on the tote. So I have found in images, there was this super cute, was just like a blank little background, this little squiggly thing here. And then I found vacay vibes, and I also found these sunglasses where it looks like palm trees inside the shades. So what I did was I sliced those images out together. I used a pattern to fill this in temporarily so I could see what it would look like. I'm going to change that to a plain color here in a little bit, just so I could kind of see what it would look like with a pattern. The coaster right here, this right here is going to be the pattern. So for the coaster, that's going to be the pattern. And then the T is going to be the dark blue. You guys back down here, I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff sent over to the machine, and I'll probably kind of have it in a little bit fast forward motion. For the pins, I'm going to use the blue mat since we're using just regular paper. But when we use the Infusible Ink transfer sheets, I'm going to use the green because you're going to want a stronger grip so it don't shift, because if it does shift, you're going to ruin that, and that's going to not be fun. So we're going to start with the blue mat. I'm going to go ahead and load on here just a plain piece of laser copy paper. So I've got my copy paper on here, and I'm going to go ahead and load this. We want to make sure we mirror everything, including the stuff with our pens, because it's just like working with iron-on, and it's going to be going on backwards, if that makes sense. Once you open your packaging, you're going to get another little card here that's going to tell you to, before you begin, to go check out the infusible-ink.com. So there's that. And we're going to use the yellow first. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out. So I'm going to go ahead and load our yellow. And what you may want to do before you begin, test a little piece of this. I always use my hand. Test a little piece of this just to make sure it's ready to go so you don't have to redo it. So I'm going to go ahead and load the yellow. And we're ready to hit go. I'm going to go ahead and take out my orange pen first, close that, and unload. So our pen is completely finished, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. Now currently, like I said, I only have the pen, I don't have the marker, but I'm going to use my pen to color these in. So I'm going to go in each color and color those in. I'm going to use the green mat. I've got a brand new one. We want to make sure we have something that's going to stick very well so it doesn't shift at all. So the first one I need to load is the gray one. I'm going to take a peek and see what's inside the box. So when you open it up here, let's see what we get. And I want to be careful it doesn't fall on my adhesive, so I'm going to move that out of the way for a second. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get in here. So it looks like it's wrapped. There's nothing else in the box, but I'm going to save this to put this back into. It's wrapped inside a black plastic bag. Open this up and pull this down. Now, one thing I want to point out right away, but if you guys follow me, you'll know how this works. So you're going to notice right off the bat that is a super light color, so it doesn't look like it's going to be very much. So this color is going to turn into this color, so you'll see that. So it looks super light, but once it works with the shirt and this, it's going to turn into some magical gases and create that awesome gray. So we get 2 sheets of this, just like so. Let's see what the back looks like. It looks just like this. So it looks like kind of like a really thick, kind of like the transfer tape for the vinyl on the back is what it kind of looks like. And then this feels almost paper-like, but you want to keep your fingers off because that's ink. I mean, it's not going to get off on you, but that way you don't get your oils on it. And then also inside the bag, don't throw that away yet, because you also have a moisture packet which you want to keep, so that way it keeps the moisture out of, you know, the rest of your stuff you're not using. And it does come with a sample piece of material for you to test it out on. So that's pretty exciting. So if you get your hands on some of this and you don't get a shirt or something right away, you can always test it out on this. But these are going to be for you to utilize to test it out before you put it all on your t-shirt to kind of see what those colors are going to look like. What I'm going to do is trim mine down. I'm not going to put this whole thing on there. There's no need. I wouldn't do vinyl like that. So what I'm going to do is trim that down to an 8 by 8. It does look like you get 2 sheets of parchment paper, so it is giving you butcher paper, I think they're calling it. It does give you 2 sheets of that, so that's pretty awesome that they do provide you with those, so you don't have to go out to the store and find those. So they do provide you with 2 of those since there's 2 sheets. You could always keep the excess, and then once again, it comes with the little paper telling you to go to infusible-ink.com. All right, so I'm going to trim this down to 8 by 8. In my mat here, and we're going to load this from corner to corner. So what you want to do, make sure you do not accidentally stick this face down, because that's going to literally pull your ink off. I think that's just going to literally destroy it. So that's going to be a big no-no we're going to have to pay attention to, is make sure that it goes down this way. And yes, you're still going to mirror it because it's going to go upside down on the shirt, if that makes sense. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this loaded. And now we are ready to hit go. I'm going to take my pieces like so and put them back in the box. We'll unload our first one here. Now, one thing I noticed right away after it was started to cut, so you can see those cut lines, looks amazing. I'm really excited about it. I accidentally forgot to attach it where it said Tropic Like It's Hot. So now those are in separate places, but it's no big deal. When I weed them out, I'll line them up on the shirt right. I'll show you what I mean here in a little bit, but that'll help somebody that accidentally does the same. So now what I'm going to do is grab it. So this is what it's looking like so far. I accidentally left it on that light cardstock. I forgot to switch it to Infusible so you can see where it cut through. So definitely make sure and pay attention that you do that. So we're going to do that, correct this next one. So when we open this package, it should be the exact same. So I'm just going to go ahead and open it up. So same thing, it's got this black plastic. I just peeled it open. So once again, the colors are going to look super dull. It's going to come with the pouch here for the moisture, a scrap. I love the fact that we're going to have those little scraps. You can see this is what it's going to turn out to. You can see how light it looks here. Okay, so there's that. And then the same thing with that blue. You can see this is what the blue is going to look like. This is what it looks here. So don't be afraid. Just refer back to your box to see. And it also includes the 2 pieces of parchment. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. I have a very small T that I need to cut with this other blue. On the back of this, it has your squares. So 2 of these is going to make an inch, and I need it to be 2 by 2. So that's actually a half, so I can do 2 by 2, so it's going to be 2 by 2.5. And then the same thing, so 2 by 2. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this out. So I don't need my paper trimmer for this. And I'm just going to cut out that little square like so. Now, once again, you're going to want to load that in the corner, putting the other piece down, making sure the color is up. All right, so that's one way to remember, color up. Load that and hit go. So what I'm going to kind of do is try to bend it like this to where I can get a straight. All right, just like that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and unload that. Alright, so now remember I have 2 different images here. Hopefully you guys will be able to maybe pick up on some of them cut lines. So you can kind of see that there. Maybe even see the square a little bit here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the whole thing off here. What I want to do first off is I want to cut off my excess, which you can see it's just kind of like if you were working with regular vinyl or iron-on where you can see enough to trim it. So I'm going to do that. We've got all of our pieces. The next step's going to be is weeding this, okay? So let's go ahead and start the weeding process now. Weeding these little pieces. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to use our tweezers. So for something like this, we need to take off the outside part here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim, just start bending over the side and just peel this away. All right, so that peels off there very nicely. I'm going to bring this up so you guys can see what it looks like. So it's got like this, almost like a coating, a plastic coating on the back and then paper on the front. So it's really easy to work with. So there is our T. And this feels kind of like the transfer paper, but almost a little bit thinner. So that's about what that's feeling like in case you're wondering. This one here, I'm going to peel off the outside remaining off. Like I said, it's really easy to weed, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then we're going to peel off the inside. Now, if I wanted to, I could save this little piece here. I could pop it back on a piece of transfer paper. So I'm going to just pop this guy down in the box just so I have it in case I want to use it on something else. All right, so this is what we have so far. So this is how this is going to go, and I'm going to pop it down in there. So here in a little bit, I'm going to want to get this nice and even in here, like so. Just like that. And that's what's going to go down on my coaster. So just want to make sure that T is nice and centered. I could have taken it off this plastic and put it, but I'm not going to. I just set the plastic on there. So this is going to be one project. Working great. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling this. Like I said, it is really easy to weed. So I kept thinking with paper it was going to be a little bit crazy, but it's really not. It peels off this paper, off this transfer sheet like a dream because of that backing. Hopefully you guys can hear me over this. But I'm going to go ahead and just keep peeling. Now, to weed out these little pieces here, you can just kind of hold it and bend it and pop them out. You really don't have to have your weeding tool for things like this. It's really cool. So I'm going to pop those. All right, so this whole thing is done. Now, like I said, I'm going to have to cut this and trim it here in a little bit because now these are in the wrong place. No big deal. I'll get that in a sec. Side out of here, just so I can see my image. So I'm going to keep it laying flat. So I'm just kind of holding my corner over here. So I'm going to go ahead and peel off the whole outside layer, just kind of holding it down on the plastic and then peeling. Like I said, it is the craziest thing. It literally peels like a dream. All right, so there's that. And you can literally see the intricate cuts there. You'll see more here in a little bit when I get it all out of here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to peel. Right, so now that I have it weeded, if you look on the back side, you can see what it's going to look like. You make sure all your pieces are still there. If you've lost something, dig through your pieces that you weeded out and put it back. That's what I did here. I'd accidentally pulled a piece out of the sunglasses and I just was able to put it back. Now, you'll see there's a little pieces kind of sticking up here and there. You can just kind of pop them down. All right, so I'm going to go and pop that out of the way. That's going to be for our tote. And then let's go ahead and color in our image really quick. See that there, and I'm going to admit that I got a little bit lazy because it is a little bit small for me on this print, so some of them you can't really tell what it was going to say, so I just kind of did little scribblies, and I think it's going to be fine. I think it's cute, so just going to admit that right away. I have no reason to lie. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this guy out of my way. I'm going to set it aside, and what I want to work on first is the coaster. So let's go and work on the coaster. So first thing we need to do is let's go do our settings. We're going to go over to Cricut.com. I'll have it linked below for your heat settings. So I'm going to hit Easy Press 2. For the material, I'm going to go ahead and come all the way down and choose the Infusible transfer sheet. All right, I'm going to hit done. For the material that where it's going to go on to, I'm going to choose the square coaster. Done. Apply. All right, so it's going to tell us 400 degrees for 60 seconds, no pressure, cold pill. So we need to let it sit. Now it's going to show us how our sandwich is going to be, so let's create that now. So it's showing us that we need our mat down first, showing us the mat down first, then it's showing us a blank piece of paper. It's not going to matter what kind. You want it to be a piece of cardstock, but you want a white piece of cardstock. So we're going to get that down now. I'm going to do this side so that way it'll lay flat. Okay, so we've got a white piece of cardstock that's going to protect our mat. There's the coaster, then the image down. So let's do that now. So let's open up our package of coasters, and we're just doing one today. I'm going to save them so that way I can do different coasters. That'll give me 4 different ones we could create. I'm going to go ahead and get our easy press here. I'm going to scoot this stuff over just a little bit. Let's go ahead and get it at, it says 400 degrees. So let's go ahead and do that now. So that way it's ready to go. So we're going to get it at 400 for 60 seconds. I'm going to hit the timer. And I'm going to get that to 60 seconds. All right. So now that we've got the cardstock, we're going to want our coaster down. This is what they're going to look like, just like so. They're going to have cork on the bottom. So just like that, you're going to want to get that face up. I've already cleaned mine with a lint-free cloth. Then we want to go ahead and get our image. I'm just going to eyeball this and make sure that looks pretty even. I think it does. We're going to roll with it. All right, so what I'm going to do, and before I do this, I'm actually going to flip it this way just so I can make sure I get this on here even, and then flip it back. All right. So what I did when I designed this, because the coasters are 3.75, I made the image 3.80. So that way it gave me just a tiny little bit of a bleed to make sure that everything will be covered. All right, so I can see that there. So once again, that coaster is going to go down. Now, obviously I can't get my tape, and I need this to stay still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heat-resistant tape from Cricut. I'm going to set my phone on here to protect that for just a second. Heat-resistant tape right here. So we're going to take that heat-resistant tape. And it doesn't take very much when it comes to heat-resistant tape. So I'm going to take 2 little pieces like so. Remove my phone, because you just want to make sure this is going to lay flat when you go to do this, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and take my tape, and I'm going to tape it to the paper, not onto this, because obviously it's so, it's covering the whole thing that we can't get tape on it, all right? So I'm going to do that. So I'm just taping it down, and I just need the 2 pieces there, just to kind of hold that down like so. A piece of that butcher paper, and we're going to get that down. All right, and we're ready to go. Our easy press is at 400 for 60 seconds. All we have to do is take this and set it on top, let go, hit go. With this, move it over. All right, so you're going to see this browning on the paper, just like so. That is completely normal. But you can see that I got ink on here. So if you get any ink on here, see that little spot right there, you're going to want to throw it away, because if not, you're going to get it on another project. So I'm going to go ahead and toss this out. Now, you want to let this cool down because it's going to be really hot. So I'm going to scoot it over. You want to be careful because you don't want any ghosting going on. So I'm going to scoot it out of the way while we let that cool down. Get me a clean piece of cardstock, and now let's do the tote. So we're going to come back to our settings here, and we're going to change this. So it's still the Infusible Ink transfer sheets, and we're going to change it to the tote bag. Done. Apply. All right, now it's 385. I'm going to hit temp. Bring it down to 385. It's going to be 40 seconds. So I'm going to bring that down. All right, so let's look at our sandwich here. On this one, it's showing to put the cardstock on top of the mat, but we're going to set this inside of the tote. So we're going to put that inside of the tote, then our image, then the butcher paper, then the press. So let's go ahead and do that now. So this is what their tote looks like. Very, very nice. So I'm going to do is scoot that back just a little bit so I have enough room, and it's already ready to go. I love that easy press too. It just goes back and forth so easy. All right, so I'm opening up my tote. I'm grabbing this, and we're going to put it on the inside. So I'm opening up my tote, and I'm going to put these inside. Once again, you have the cardstock to protect your mat. Trust me, you don't skip that step. All right, so basically at that point, just make sure you have it centered where your image is going to be on here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull those back. Now we want to use our lint roller to make sure there's no lint where we're putting our image. Looks good. Now, look at that. Hopefully you guys can see it. Look how much lint came off that thing. So safety first, don't skip that step either. All right. So the next thing you're going to do, make sure all your little pieces are popped down for your image here. We're going to go ahead and get this down where we want it to be. So I have mine a little bit, I want it a little bit slanted like so. Take it just like so, and it just takes a few small pieces. So you want to get some, it just helps to hold it still. Once again, so you don't get what's called a ghosting effect, because if this moves at all, it will cause like a blurred effect. All right, so just making sure everything's smooth and going to get one on the other side. So I'm just feeling, making sure everything's on the mat. Last thing to do here is get on our parchment paper, and then we want to make sure it covers the whole thing, just like so, and hit go. For this one here, it says light, hopefully you guys can see that. It is light pressure and it's a warm pill. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. I'm going to peel up our parchment paper. Now you can see this one still looks good, so I can reuse this one. And we're going to go ahead and peel this up. All right, just like so. Super cute. Love it. All right, so anything that sticks behind, so you can see I've got some little papers here. You can pick those up with your tweezers, or you could just pick it up and just kind of knock those off like so. I'm going to bring this up so you guys can see that. Look how vibrant that is. Super awesome. I'm super pumped about this. This Infusible ink is just a whole nother level. I'm really excited about it. Cricut Plus Infusible ink. Oh my gosh. I'm really excited. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on this and play with it so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to bring that up again so you guys can see. Make sure you guys let it cool down because it is going to be warm. But make sure you guys do that pre-press for 15 seconds because I did forget that step. And you definitely don't want to do that because I could have messed that up. So there's that. Now let's go ahead and get our shirt. So that's going to be really, really cute. I think we're ready to go on the coaster. So I'm going to bring it back in and I'm going to peel this up just like so. And I'm going to bring that up so you guys can see it. Look how cute that is. So you've got a custom coaster. Really, really cute. Monogram. Gloss. That's not going to come off at all. It is in there. It's a really neat process. It'll be like this for the rest of his life. It will not dual fade, anything like that. So is the coaster super cute. So I'm going to set that out of the way. You could do all four the same, but like I said, I'm going to save mine and utilize them for several projects. So now you can see that we got some ink on here. Do not try to reuse this because once again, that ink can come up on your other project. Go ahead and trash that piece of cardstock at that point. Go ahead and do our shirt. We're going to switch to the last one. So I'm going to go stick on the transfer sheets. I'm going to choose a t-shirt just like that. I'm going to hit done. All right, so it's $3.85 for 40 seconds, but I want to double check that the settings are the same for the pen. So I hit the markers and the pins. Oh, I'm going to hit t-shirt. Okay, so I've got the markers, pins, t-shirt. I'm going to hit apply. $3.85 for 40 seconds, warm pill. It's the same thing. This one, it is showing that we're going to put the shirt down, put the paper inside the shirt. So this is not going to go inside. This is going to stay on the outside. This is going to go on the inside. Then the image, parchment paper, and the heat press. Okay, so here we go. Let's layer it up. Very nice shirt. I'm not going to lie. It feels like polyester with cotton. It really feels really nice. I don't know what it is. I'll look at the... It is 95% polyester, 5% spandex. It feels really nice. It feels like a cotton t-shirt to me. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to go ahead and get our paper in here. Pre-press the t-shirt for 15 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to get it right there in the middle of the t-shirt. All right. Put that up there so that way I know where I'm at, where my middle is. So everything looks even on that. I'm going to go ahead and just start going and getting this layered down here. All right, now before I lay this down, what I'm going to do is get my pineapple down where I need it to be. So I'm going to trim around my pineapple really quick. No promises on my pineapple because I was a little bit on the lazy side, so we shall see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get down my pineapple. So say I'm happy with that. I just stuck it right on my paper so that way it'll go together. And now I'm going to get this on here just like so. I'm fine with it. Scoot it up so you guys can make sure you see everything. Alright, so there is our image. Now what we need to do is get down our parchment paper like this. Our settings are ready to go. $3.85 for 40 seconds. So I'm just going to make sure everything is covered and give it light pressure. Alright, it's warm peel. I'm going to go ahead and peel this up. As you can see, we've got some ink on the parchment paper, so that's going to be trash. Go ahead and pull it. Look how cool those colors are with the pins. Just like that. How cool is that? See where I could have gotten a little bit better. The yellow was really, really hard to see when you were coloring it. So I could see where I could have improved a little bit there. So there we have it. So we've done a super cute shirt. We're going to go ahead at this point, pull out the cardstock. We're completely done with this. You're ready to go. You can wash, you can dry this. Your ink is not going to fade. It's not going nowhere. So you can see this. Colors are. Now you can see on my coloring skills, you can see where I got really nice up here. And then when it came to the yellow, I got a little bit lazy and I would scribble in there. So it still came out really cute. But you can see how you can stretch this and it'll just kind of revert right back to the same. So same, I'm going to kind of bring this up so you guys can see. So you can see that down in the fibers. So let me stretch it this way so you guys can see me stretching this all over the place. You can see also, I want to point out there's no feel to this. It feels like the t-shirt. So you can wad this up. There's no extra feeling of, you know, like you have vinyl on here or iron on. There's no feeling like you have iron on or anything. It just feels like the t-shirt. It feels like no difference. If I close my eyes, I would not be able to know there's ink on there. So it's really cool. I love the way that that came out. Thank you, Cricut, for sending me this and letting me check it out and try it out. I'm really excited about it. Here is our shirt, our tote. Look at how cool those colors are. The tote, and then here is that coaster. Now, I've got several other ideas I want to kind of play around with these coasters. So like I said, I'm not going to do them all the same. I'm going to keep playing with those. But I'm really excited. I really like the colors. You can see how much more vibrant scrap piece from the weeding, which is actually from the shirt. But you can see the color of the paper compared to what it looks like once you press it. So it's pretty cool. Now the colors, I'll kind of bring the pins in to kind of show their true colors a little bit. Kind of bring those in so that blue looks just like the blue. The orange looks just like the orange. I didn't do the pink. I did the green. The colors are so pretty and vibrant. And then the yellow. Like I said, I got a little messy with the yellow. Don't judge. But it looks really cool. I'm really obsessed with it. I'm really excited. I cannot wait for you guys to play with this. I can't wait to go to the store. I'm going to purchase every single transfer paper they have. Anybody else with me? So I definitely will be an early morning riser. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.